Hi, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and I have LD with us, and you are here uh, watching with us, Glenda's Dragon's Den. I just wanted to say thank you for following us and just giving us feedback and sending emails. So we really appreciate that.
And the coffee. Thank you for sending the coffee.
And the coffee. It's keeping the world alive because I don't deal well
It's
without
keeping
coffee.
LD alive because,
Okay.
yeah, without coffee, she's dangerous.
Especially in the morning.
Especially in the morning.
We have a phenomenal guest today. And you know what? I'm just going to let her introduce herself. Kandi, how are you, hon?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Well,
Oh,
This
thank
is
you for being here.
exciting.
you're welcome.
Coffee. I'm going to be at a Paracon. Well, I'm putting on a Paracon at the Rock Island YMCA in October. I'll have to send you some of this coffee. I found a lady. She makes bourbon infused coffee, especially for paranormal investigators.
Oh, that's interesting.
Does it taste like charcoal? No, it's
I don't
bourbon.
know.
Yeah.
I'm not a, you're not going to like me. You're going to end up kicking me off the show. I'm not a coffee person,
That's
but the hubby is, and he says it's pretty good.
okay.
Well, we wouldn't kick you off the show if we don't like you. We'll just tease you more. That's all.
There we go. I'm used to that.
And so you'll be right at home.
There we go.
So you're, to my way of thinking, you're kind of new to this.
Pretty new. Yeah. Yeah.
What changed in you when you discovered the paranormal? How did your global view of things in general change when you realized and had that irrefutable evidence?
I became obsessed. Like I went from literally thinking all things paranormal, it's hocus pocus, it's baloney. Yeah, right. Ghosts. Had that first experience. It was like, gotta have more, gotta have more. I was married to my husband a year and a half, almost 2 years before I found out he was a medium. He didn't want to tell me because I thought it was hocus pocus. And then he tells me, so now we go into locations. It's like, hon, what do you get? What do you see? He tells me where to go. He goes, go in that corner. And he gets to the point he won't tell me anything. He makes me figure it out with my equipment. So
Mhm.
it's fun. It's an obsession.
Well, I mean, it's very powerful because all of a sudden you go from that myopic view of things to
Mhm.
that whole oneness, and it's all connected and it's all frequency, and wow, where does it start, where does it end? So great.
And then it's okay. Well, if ghosts exist, do the aliens exist? What about Bigfoot? What about Loch Ness? It's just like, where does it end?
Hopefully, never.
Yeah, yeah. It's awesome.
Second star on the right and straight on till morning.
There we go.
There you go. So, what exactly was your experience like to make you realize there was more than what you thought there was?
I got held down in a bed and choked.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
we were at an asylum and I was held down in a bed and yeah, felt felt the hand up around my neck and another medium that was there was saying, "Yeah, let me show you what I'm seeing happen to you." I'm like, "Okay." When that medium held me down and showed me exactly what I was feeling, I'm like, "Okay, there's got to be truth to this because there's no way they could see what was happening to me and know what to do and how to do it."
right.
So,
Right. Well, I'm glad that you had other people there, though.
You, you,
yeah, oh,
you know
definitely.
you owe me an ice cream after this show because I'm being very good.
Oh, yeah, held down in a bed and
Yeah.
choked. Yeah, he's being good.
So, yeah, let's just let that go. Um, so we were talking before about an investigation you just went on. So tell us about that because those were in. Sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, we I finally made it MSP, Missouri State Penitentiary. It was on my bucket list for the 5 years I've been doing this. And I wanted to get there. And finally, we did. We loaded up, we went down, and I'm that little person who's always taking pictures, right? Not just hope. I mean, yes, I'm hoping to get paranormal too, but I want to have the memories of the building, the location. And I'm snapping pictures, so I wasn't paying too much attention to what they were telling us was, things that happened there. They set us free. I go up to the fourth floor of building 4. Derek on the way up says, "I'm going to stick on 3 or 2 or whatever it was." He was going to stay down on the lower floor. I make my way up. I'm on the catwalk, and I look over my shoulder because I heard a noise. There's Derek standing behind me. I said, "Oh, you changed your mind, huh, hon?" Go back to taking pictures over the thing, and I have a picture, and I saw Derek standing down on 3rd floor. Turn around, Derek is gone. I'm telling Derek about this. Like, was there another stairway? Like, how did you do this really quick? Not thinking anything. And well, didn't you hear what they said? They have doppelgangers in this building. So I had my first experience with the doppelganger this weekend. So that was kind of fun.
It was. I'm glad that it was. You were able to discover what it was right away. Because
Yeah.
some people don't talk about it. They just like, okay, well, you were, oh, he was up there, and not even think about it, and don't discuss it, and really don't get to realize what it was. So that was
Yeah,
good.
and I almost didn't. I really thought, okay, he must have. I was so into taking pictures. Maybe time went,
Right.
different than what I was thinking. And yeah, but nope, after talking to him, I think that's probably what it was. There's one set of stairs in the well, 2 sets of stairs in the building, but they're both at the opposite end of where I was. So for him to get down there that fast, he would have had to literally run super speed to get down a flight of stairs and back to where he was. Impossible.
Now, were you with a team when you did this, or was it the 2 of you with a group of people you didn't know? How did that work out?
I'm part of All Out Paranormal. So there was myself, Derek, and Rex, who's the founder of the group. He was there. Our other teammates couldn't make it. But on the thing, I want to say there was like 20 other people in the building. So at that particular time, but so worth it.
And do they allow instigation in that site?
You shouldn't, but people do. Yeah. Yeah. I can't stand. Yeah. No, don't antagonize them.
Yeah, it could cause harm. Because if you get them angry enough, they could then cause harm to anybody who's with you or there at that moment. So,
and we were super cautious because Rex, he is a retired police officer,
right?
And he was in there talking with an actual officer about his experience in law enforcement. And when it came time to go to the dungeon, he goes, "Nope, the energy I'm getting, if I go down in that dungeon," he says, "I might not come back up tonight."
Ooh.
So I think they were picking up his vibes that he was an officer, and he goes, it won't end nice if I go down there. So he didn't do the dungeon with us, but.
Well, it's good that he knows, where he's best to go and not. When I ran investigations, my thing was, you could speak to communicate with each other or for safety reasons, but you did not discuss anything about the investigation on the investigation. Because when you put that in someone's mind, it colors their perception.
Yep.
So that was one of the rules I had. What does your team do with that?
It kind of depends. Since I'm not a medium, I do a lot of the historical research. So I get a lot of that, and I'm mum's the word. They don't know anything I know until we're there. And then say maybe Derek will say, "Well, hey, I'm picking up on something about a man getting shot here and this happening. Kind of, okay, yeah, keep going. Tell me a little more. Or are you sure about that type thing? But I never want to tell him no, because, like you said, just because it's not in a history book or just
Right.
because one person doesn't pick up on it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean it didn't happen and somebody else can pick up on it.
Right.
Yeah, history is usually written with intent, and it's not always the intent of truth.
Yep. Yep.
And in places like institutions of that time period, there were a lot of things that went on there that were covered up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a very strong background in mental health as a mental health advocate. So, I'm not looking to go to those places, particularly as part of an investigation with the public at large who is
Mm-hmm.
going to do that, because I wouldn't be happy if I saw instigation there, because those people were terrorized enough while they were there.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's me.
Nope, I'm the same way. Normally, I don't like doing the big public. It's more private, just our group and maybe a few close friends.
Right.
That's why we started kind of doing we kind of just got our little group of 5 and sometimes 6, and we like to do our own, but a big one like that to rent out
Yeah.
with only 6, it's a little
Yeah.
hard.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes you have to just go when it's the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
arises. So
Now, where you are, is that considered the Bible Belt?
What's where we are? Well, not really.
No?
Mm.
So they're pretty accepting of what you do there?
Oh gosh, yeah, yeah. It's funny, it's become more open. Back when I was in grade school, I think, like they said, the whole town was a very Catholic town.
mm,
But since then, yeah, no, they're very open to it, and people are very fascinated by it.
that's good.
Well, that's the nice thing, is disclosure is coming about, and then, for whatever else these shows are doing, they're normalizing, quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote, the paranormal. I mean, we know it exists, but there are still people, for whatever reasons, that feel they need to deny it. And
Yep. Yep.
I'm not there to change anybody's mind about anything.
I'm like you, but it's fun, and I love being with someone who hasn't had an experience and don't believe, and watching them have that moment I had where you go, oh, shit, this is real. You're watching their eyes light up, and
That epiphany is always fun to, be a part of.
yeah.
And to that, what's keeping you from developing your mediumship capabilities?
I don't know. I don't see and hear things. I can be sensitive at times, and feel the energies, but I'm more on the healer side.
Hmm.
Well, it's not necessarily a one-way street. Glenda does a complimentary mediumship every Thursday,
Mhm.
where it's called mediumship development. We have people who are very gifted. We have people who have never experienced anything, and they actually bring people in and get messages for other people there. But, my sense of you is that you have a lot of potential.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's what Catherine has said. And so
you're kind of putting yourself in a box. Get out of that.
I will try. Someone in the past had told me, nope, you don't have those abilities. You'll never have them. Don't even think about it. So I went on my straight and narrow. Okay, this is what I can do. This is what I'm going to do. And don't get me wrong, I love doing the healing. I
Right.
absolutely love doing that.
Well,
But
I do that. I do the
mhm,
healing, just Reiki and energy and matrix and quantum and all that other stuff. But I've learned that with those tools, it's also helpful to be the medium, because if you're healing somebody, they're somebody that comes for them says to you, oh, they need extra over here, but they're saying that they're not hurting, say they had a trauma, and it's their trauma. So try to get that trauma out. So it's all good to have all different tools, as I call it, in a toolbox. And sometimes you'd be surprised they come for a Reiki healing. It turns out to be a session of, and they're just releasing, and it's all because one of their loved ones came down and said, "Just say this," and always I would say that, and that would be the trigger. So
I love it.
yeah, and it works the other way too, because I know you can do healing of ghosts too for a child or somebody who wants to move on and hasn't been able to. So you can do it both ways. So don't box yourself.
Yeah, and
I may have to work with you some in the future.
yeah, if you have
Yes.
any interest, it's a Zoom call, and she
Yeah.
extends the protection. She does international clients on that call sometimes.
Oh, awesome. Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so and it's complimentary. So it's all part of her ministry.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
So tell me more about you. Like we were talking about healing and all that.
So I
Tell
do
us.
the healing, elemental healing. I like working with the elements in my healing as well, and crystals. Love the crystals and the elements and the Reiki all together. I'm a throw it all in the pot, and
Mm-hmm.
never, and it's funny because I was doing one once and somebody says, "Well, that's not what you did last time." It's like, well, that's not what you need this time. This is what you need this time. And I've gotten fairly decent Carrie on there that said I saved her butt. Carrie, I'm going to tell the story. I hope it's okay. We were at a location once and she was there, and one of the spirits jumped inside of her, and like literally her face, I don't want to say her face transformed because it's not like it physically changed, but
Right. You can see the difference.
she transformed into this school teacher that was there, and I'm taking her outside to do my stuff on her, and she's all, "No, you are not the principal. You do not have any say over me." I'm like, "No, I just fired the principal. I'm in charge now. Get your butt outside. Let's do this." And we did a wonderful session on her and got her cleansed. So
Good. Good.
that's always, I don't know, I really like doing those anything to help people.
That's
Well, it's
awesome.
good that you can
That
think on
feeling.
your feet, and as long as they don't give it permission, you generally have the ability to work with it, particularly if it's something that just occurred.
Yeah.
That's what people don't realize. They get all caught up in the fear of it, and but that's great that you have that presence of mind.
And it was
Yes.
so strange because earlier that day we were at one of those, I call them the herbal witchy shops, that had all the different herbs. And all of a sudden we're there and I'm like, Derek, I need some of this, I need some of that, and I need some of this. And he's like, why? I'm like, I don't know, I just need it. Those were the exact herbs I needed that night in cleansing her. So it was.
See, you are a medium.
That's mediumship.
That's medium. That's medium.
You're in touch with your higher power, and it's your higher power that talks to the other higher power.
Right.
Okay, I never looked at it that way. I always thought, oh God, that was just lucky intuition, I guess. But
well, intuition is kind of like mediumship. It is part of
okay.
of being connected, and so you're connected to the other side. That's mediumship.
I guess I got that tunnel vision of it. To me, it's like Derek. I see dead people. The Sixth Sense movie. That's mediumship to me, and I gotta get my thinking outside that box, like you say.
Yeah.
And if he's available, he's welcome to come on too. More the merrier. It's a Zoom call, so we've got plenty of room, and different people can rotate in and out as they need to. But we've got plenty of room for you if you feel so called.
Oh, definitely.
Julie, she wants to know what was the location you were talking about.
Missouri State Penitentiary, MSP. Yeah.
There you go, Julie. Thank you.
Where in Missouri is that?
What's that?
Where in Missouri is that?
Jefferson City.
Okay. And she said, "Oh, yeah, that's right, Susan." Intuition is mediumship.
I'm
So,
learning. I've learned a lot from Catherine in the last, 6 or 7 months since her
yeah,
and I really started talking and getting close. And that woman, she's an encyclopedia of knowledge too, isn't she?
yes, she definitely knows a lot. Definitely. Um, so tell us, how do you do the investigations? I know Derek is the
Mm-hmm.
medium side.
Yep.
Now, what besides the camera, what do you do? What do
I'm
you like to
huge
do?
with the trigger objects.
Okay.
I like when I'm doing my historical research.
Mhm.
Take, for example, the YMCA. There was a guy who committed a murder there over $50 and a pack of cigarettes that were stolen from him. So what do? I bring in a $50 bill and a pack of cigarettes. Or the guys from the mob there that like their cigars and their bottle of whiskey. I bring that stuff in and set up equipment around that to try to get them to interact. I don't want to say I'm not traditional, but I like to go more than just the stand there and say, "Can you light this up? Can you turn this red? Can you turn this green?" I want to have fun with the spirits and make it different for them. I've thrown birthday parties for the spirits. We've played Go Fish,
Good.
and they actually got sad when they lost over necrophonics playing Go Fish. Okay, we set it up. I was thinking they were going to want to play poker. I get necrophonics and say, "What game do you want to play?" Go Fish. Are you serious? Go Fish. They actually played. We had a hand set at the table for the spirit.
Mhm.
And they would literally, if I said, "Do you have a 3?" If they didn't have a 3 in their hand, over necrophonics, it would say, "Go Fish." And they would say,
Good.
"Okay, who do you want to, spirit? Who do you want to ask for a card?" Say, "Glenda." "What number do you want from Glenda?" "A king." So they played it all out. And when it got down to the very last one, and this guy named Chris won, he set down his cards, and over necrophonics, it goes, "Aw, Chris won." It was just little stuff like that. Those are my niches,
Well,
trying to make it different.
people don't realize that a lot of these entities were disempowered in their lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
So even getting the choice of what game to play is a big deal for them. And
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
that's why you don't have to instigate them. You just, try to heal them,
Yeah.
whatever's going on with them. And we've always had very good results.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely. And it's great. It's and we don't like to instigate. As a matter of fact, I even go in and I always ask, "Is it okay if we come in?"
Mm-hmm.
It just works a lot easier.
And we always introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm Kandi. This is Derek or Carrie or whoever we're with. We just want to visit with you tonight. We want to tell your story or have some fun. And
Mhm.
when we leave, it's always, "Okay, hey, we want to thank you for sharing your home with us tonight." And we,
Mhm.
I don't know, that's just what we always do.
That
Kind of,
that
you get more bees with honey than you do vinegar.
exactly.
Yeah, Glenda actually asked if she can come into the house
Yeah.
because it's their house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should start doing that.
And when I purchased the house, when I went to look at it, I even said, "Is it okay if I'm the next owner?" And I heard yes, and my children heard yes. And from that point on, every single realtor could not come into the house. And
Oh,
they would
wow.
go to do the code, and all of a sudden they would say, "No, this one is not for sale anymore," and they would take their clients away from the house. And as a matter of fact, for the home inspection, I was there, and a realtor tried to come in, and all of a sudden they opened the door. We were in the kitchen, and they said, "No, no, this is not good. This is not the house for you. Close the
Oh,
door." And
wow.
I'm like, "Okay, yes, I mean,
You
somebody
got your
has to."
house.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. So,
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Exactly. Carrie's talking about one on here. She says, "Where I hid the note." Before Carrie and I were actually teammates, we were with separate teams. And Carrie and I came up with this idea. I said, "We're going to be at this location a week I think it was a week or a few days before you are.
Right.
So I said, we're going to hide something. Ask the spirits to tell you where it is. So I literally went in and was, okay, you know, I got my friend Carrie. She's going to be coming on whatever day it was, and she's going to ask you. Again, my name is Kandi. She's going to ask you where Kandi hid something for her.
Right.
I had on a sheet, I did something really simple on a sheet of paper. Hi, hope you have a great night. And I taped it up under the bottom of the school desk. She went in and was asking, and they led her throughout the course of the night to where that was. She was in, I believe, an Estes session, and they showed her under a desk. She's like, whatever it is, it's under a desk. It's with blue tape. And sure enough, I had taped it up with blue painter's tape.
Okay. That was wonderful. That is wonderful. You see, if you treat them nice, they give you what you want, basically.
Yeah.
They're willing to be, you know, amicable. Just like, you know, when you go to somebody's house, you're not go in there and say demanding things. It's the same thing.
Yeah, they'd tell you, get your ass out.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a bad mouth. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We don't have to worry about the Conscious Awakening Network. Maybe YouTube, but I'm sure it'll be okay.
Tell them to get over it.
They'll just blip it out. That's all.
There we go.
We gotta have fun.
We don't want people coming into our house talking to us like that. So I go in the way I would want to be treated.
Exactly. Now, did you meet your husband on an investigation or just?
Well, no, she didn't do an investigation until they were married.
She was doing other stuff.
Right.
So
how did you guys meet?
Yeah, there you go.
Through a bearded dragon group on Facebook, believe it or not. I didn't like him. I thought he was a jackass.
And now you're sure.
Now you're sure.
Now I know. Now I know. I love him, but he's still, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like he and I have a lot in common.
Yeah. Yes. So that was interesting. So you love bearded dragons, huh?
Oh, yeah. In fact, you know, bearded dragons are actually fairly sensitive to paranormal too.
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue. This is in my beginning days where I did a big no-no. And Derek kicked me in the butt afterwards, but I had saw somebody on Facebook had a Ouija board and had a spirit box on top of it. Oh, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I went out. I was all proud of myself. I got a Ouija board and I put the spirit box on it, and I had my friend come over to the house. And I said, you sit there, I sit here. We're going to do this. And we turned it on, and my mini Dachshund, Carly, she kept trying to bring me a toy, and I'm trying to take the toy from her. I'm like, drop it. And over the spirit box, it says, drop it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you're repeating me. Said it again. I said, what'd you say? Drop it, Carly. Said the dog's name. I had not said the dog's name. Dog went running behind the couch, dropped the toy. The bearded dragon that was behind me went down its little thing out of its basking spot and hid in its hide and would not come out. I'm going around the house with K2 going, okay, where are you at? This is like really early on, like my third or fourth day doing this stuff, right? Come on, where are you at? And then I think I found something, and it's going, stop it now. Derek's like, what are you doing? Okay, we're done. He closed that board out, board's gone. Yeah. Did a whole big cleansing on the house. He's like, were you thinking? I'm like, I saw it on the internet. Mistake. Just because you see it on the internet, don't do it.
Yeah.
And people don't realize, and the board is basically just a prop. It's the intention.
Right.
So that right there is a clue to you that you and or your friend have the gift.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing.
Oh, yeah. I was wanting something to happen. Not necessarily scare my dog, but the dog and the dragon both, they were hiding. They would not come out.
Yeah. The animals are very, very sensitive. Mm-hmm. They see things and feel things and know things are there before we even do.
Well, they don't have dogma.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
true.
they have their instincts, and that's basically all they have. They
Mm.
don't have anyone telling them what they can and can't do, you know, other than an owner or caretaker who sets certain boundaries.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But when it comes to the spiritual realm, you know, nobody tells them, no, that doesn't exist, or you can't feel that, or that's all hocus pocus.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That is for sure. And they don't close down like we do. That's for sure.
No, I don't close down, honey. I'm open all night.
You're close.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. 24/7 of this stuff. Anyway.
I love it.
So
I am what I am. That's all what I am.
Oh.
so tell us more, because I know there's only not just 2 investigations.
Oh gosh, no. We've gone a lot of places. We were just at Villisca Axe Murder House back in November. I don't know if you're familiar with that. A man, they never caught the person. It's Iowa's oldest cold case. Someone went in with an axe, killed a husband, wife, their 4 children, and 2 neighbor kids.
Mm.
With beat them on the head with an axe. We were Stacy and I were in the house. Everybody else had gone to bed, and the heat wasn't working so good that night. So it was freezing, and Stacy and I were curled up in blankets, sitting down on the main floor, just listening. Like I said, everybody else was they were out. And I was in the bed. I said, "Wait a minute. We're going about this wrong. The neighbor girls just were in this bedroom just for this one night. Let's try to talk to the daughter whose room this normally was," right? I said, but I was having a brain fart. I couldn't remember her name. So I said, "Can you pull it up?" So she gets out her phone and she starts reading the story. And as she's reading what supposedly happened on her phone, you hear the footsteps going across above us from the attic over to the bed. And when she says it's believed the axe, hit the ceiling, you hear a thud, and it's going. She keeps reading, and you hear when it says coming down the stairs. You hear the footsteps coming down the stairs and come into the room where we're at. And at that point, when the one girl that was in the bed would have gotten murdered, I start getting intense pains in my back.
Ooh.
And then when it was all done, she got to the end, we heard the footsteps go out of the house, and it was dead, literally dead. The rest of the night, we didn't get anything.
Mm. It sounds like you relived kind of the whole
Yeah.
incident.
It's kind of an axe and ye shall receive scenario.
There you go.
There you go. So that sounds interesting. Now, where is this place?
That's in Villisca, Iowa. So opposite state. I'm in Dubuque, so I'm on the east end. This is on the far west end of the state.
Okay. And sounds like you guys are having a lot of fun. I know that you're probably taking your hubby all over the place.
I'm running him ragged. Every weekend I got at least one new place we're going to. And going back to some that we've done in the past, revisiting them, starting with fresh eyes in them, which is always fun too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're doing a lot of that. And
good. Now, is it only in state or is it all across the country? Or
we haven't got far out of the country. Usually so Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, we go into Indiana, Missouri, Kansas, that area. We are excited. We're going down to Arizona in July for a week. And my best friend who lives out there, we're going to go to the Grand Canyon. And she lives, I guess, right across the street from some ruins. So she goes, "I've had lots of activity there." So I said, "Okay, sounds like fun." So we're going to do some investigating in these old, what'd she call them? Paulo something. I can't remember the name of them, unfortunately, but these old ruins. So we're looking forward to that.
Nice.
Now, you were in Vegas, as I recall.
Yep.
Did you get to do anything when you were in Nevada? Or
We went to the
Arizona?
Zach Bagans Museum for the nighttime investigation in there. That was pretty. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
So
Had some equipment going off around the Devil's Rocking Chair.
mm,
That was a lot of fun.
what else did you experience there?
God, we were down in the basement. They were playing Aleister Crowley, the chanting stuff down in there, all sorts of shadow peoples, because I guess it was set up for like rituals down there. So we were all of us that were there were seeing shadows and things down in there. So that was fun.
Good.
So TSA tried to take my recorder because it looked like some type of device I shouldn't have had.
No. At the airport, I got examined 3 times leaving Vegas. And I'm like,
I was looking at him and I'm going, it's a recorder. Why do you have a recorder? I'm a paranormal investigator. Well, why do you have a recorder? Because we went to the Zach Bagans Museum. If you want to hit play on that button right there, you can hear the whole thing if you want. And yeah. So I can only imagine. You must have been terrified.
the first lady, yes. The second lady, by then I was kind of like, oh, come on, let me go. So when the
By the
second
third one, she asked where she should leave the $5.
I actually I said, if you're gonna do it again, could I have that guy, that officer over there? Because he's kind of cute. So you guys are getting all the fun. I want to have some fun too. And
Yeah,
that
exactly.
made it worse. But it's okay. I had to say something because it's like, really?
Yeah.
Nothing. Like,
Yeah. And then the guy with the real stuff has probably already gone
yeah,
through and on the
exactly.
I
plane.
was. No.
Yeah, they didn't stop him. They should stop me. And I'm like, but this is why I don't fly.
Yeah, that's why you don't fly. Reason 1 out of 2,785 why she doesn't fly.
You don't like flying?
No, I don't fly because
She shut down a whole floor in a freaking hospital.
yeah.
Can you imagine if she did that in the plane?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I just like, yeah.
MRI machine, computers, the whole freaking floor went down, and the woman says, "I know that was you.
Oh wow.
Here, take this and calm the hell down."
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's just like, I gotta think twice before.
Oh yeah. Speaking of planes, we just did the Buddy Holly crash site.
Oh, really?
That was interesting. We had Catherine on video with us and she tapped in remotely. And so Derek, he was born in 1991. So for him, he's like, who's Buddy Holly? Who are, he doesn't know who these people are. And he tapped into Buddy Holly and it was the strangest thing. My mom, it was the first time she came with us because number one, she loves that type of music,
Right.
being from the 50s. She loved the music and she likes the location. And she's, I want to see what you guys do with your equipment and what you do out there. So we're out in the middle of this cornfield, right? I don't know how much you know about the crash site, but it's literally the middle of a cornfield.
Right.
And when Derek tapped into Buddy Holly, he got overcome with emotions and he was very, very sad. And the reason we believe from what Derek was picking up and Catherine was picking up the same thing, he was very sad because he missed his mother. He never got to say goodbye to his mom. And it was Mother's Day weekend. He says, I just want to hug my mother. So what does my mom do? She goes, well, would it make you feel better if I gave you a hug?
Oh.
She went over, gave Derek a hug, as Buddy.
Right.
And after that, he goes, okay, I'm ready to go now.
Oh.
And was gone.
That must have been very powerful.
Oh God, I was covered in goosebumps. Derek, he went into tears. Catherine, covered in goosebumps and very emotional. My mom, who'd never seen anything like it before, she didn't know what to think. She was very emotional, and she says, how many people get to experience that? I said, Mom, this is what we do. Come with us.
Good.
Well, on the flip side of it, you're looking at close to 120 years of paranormal experience between the two of us.
He's older.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But, there's a lot to be said for going in with a fresh look. And, you may very well have given him what he needed to do to go back and cross over, which he may not have done.
Mm-hmm.
And because, your mom was there and she was brand new and everything. I never discount anyone again, as long as they understand that it's serious and
Yep.
you can't in any way be rude.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I get so mad when people are rude. It's like, why? Even if you're dealing with someone who was a killer,
Yeah.
You still got to treat them with respect, and
you don't know what drove them to it.
Be obnoxious with them.
Yeah, you don't know what drove them to it, and particularly in these institutions.
Yeah,
there were a lot of torturous treatments, and some of them are still used today. So, an escapee or whatever, who knows what drives them to? You
exactly.
disempower people; they have nothing to lose. That's when they become dangerous.
Yeah. And sometimes it's the sane people that were in those institutions treating them the way they did that caused them to snap, for lack of better words.
And sometimes they're just gifted people who got put away because it was decided that they were possessed by Satan.
I wonder how many people that are mediums out there now, if it was 50 years ago, how many, even doing the healing like I do, how many of us would have been locked up or the key thrown away because we did something different?
Well, that was what created my whole career on the board of directors of a regional mental health association in New York, and later on the state mental health body that coordinated all the regionals, because I brought that piece to it. And I would literally say, you realize that person's just gifted, right? And sometimes they were able to get better just on that, on following that treatment and off gassing on that.
That's incredible.
So you're doing your Reiki master. And how long have you been doing Reiki?
2019.
Good.
That came in because of the paranormal, when I found out Derek was a medium and seen somebody do Reiki on him. It's like, okay, wait a minute. If we're going to be doing this and that could happen to you, I better be able to help you.
Very good.
And so that's what got me into it. And yeah.
Good. And now, what else is it that you do? I know you coordinate for the group, for the paranormal group. And you do the background check and the historical side of it.
Yeah.
And you shoot photos, you work with the machines and all that.
You do the archiving, you do the reports.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I do all that stuff. I'm the worker bee. I'm the one who does it all. Like after Derek comes home for an investigation, he goes, "Oh, I'm tired. It's time to go to bed." I'm the one who's got everything else to do. Yep. Yeah.
Now, you do save all those reports and all that, so then you could, when you go back, you do a new report and then you could compare, right?
Yep. Especially, I'm finding that to be helpful now, going back. I've got a new project coming up Tori Westhoff is putting together a new book called We Are Rock Island YMCA.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be helping her with some of that. And so we were talking like some of the, the resident spirits and stuff, or she'd be like, and she's very clever how she does it. She could throw out a name. I don't know if it's a legit name or if it's I'm just throwing out a name to throw a name at you.
Right.
And then I'll say, well, this is what we've gotten. So we're able to document,
Nice.
who are the resident spirits of the building.
That's
so that
very
book will be
nice.
coming out this fall.
Oh, you gotta tell us when it's out so we could get
Do you
it.
have a working title?
We Are Rock Island YMCA. She's got a series of books. She did it like for Edinburgh. So it's called We Are Edinburgh.
Right.
We Are Randolph Asylum. We Are Malvern Manor. She's got one coming out soon. I don't know exactly when, called We Are McIntyre Villa. And we got on the phone Messenger the other day and said, you need to do one for this location. And here we are now working on it.
Good. That's wonderful. Sounds
So
like
are they available on Amazon?
Amazon, yep.
Okay.
Or directly through her. Then
Okay.
So if
get the
people are
signed
interested,
copy.
how do they get the book?
They can look it up, Tori Westhoff, on Facebook and go to her page, or right through Amazon.
Okay. All right. So, or they could go to you and you could
I
direct
can send them. Yep, I can send them there. And
I'm
the Rock Island YMCA one, she's hoping to have it sometime this fall. At least she's hoping before Christmas. So
Right.
if that happens,
that's great. They could contact you on Facebook right there.
Yep.
And through your group.
Mm-hmm.
So that's perfect. And so what other projects or what other locations are you thinking about?
What else is on your bucket list? Because
Yeah,
you were
there you go.
mentioning that this was on your bucket list.
I want to go to Waverly.
Okay.
Or someplace on the East Coast. I don't know where. I just want to get to the East Coast and go to a haunted location somewhere.
Okay.
I don't care. Just somewhere on the East Coast would be fun. I do have a Paracon. I'm working for the Rock Island YMCA. I'm putting together a haunted Rock Island YMCA Paracon. We've got like Expedition Entity coming. Some of the cast of 28 Days Haunted. A few of those are going to be there. Just a whole bunch of local teams and metaphysical shops and things all coming together to raise money for the location, because so many people don't realize. They just look at it as, oh, it's a place to go ghost hunt. They don't realize that how expensive it is to keep the doors open in these buildings and to keep them safe for us to be able to go.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Well, one of the things you might want to consider would be Gettysburg.
Yes, that is on my list too. Yeah, now that you say it, yep.
Because that's an East Coast haunted location.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay, you got a story to tell from Gettysburg. You got to tell me something.
Oh. Before I met him, I went to Gettysburg by myself. I didn't, it wasn't a team or anything. I just decided to pick up and go. And as I'm driving around, because you could walk, and then there's a road that they lead you through the whole tour. But I decided not to go through the tour because something was telling me, no, go this way. So I did. I stopped, and all of a sudden I see soldiers in full uniform just running around. And then one with just right here. And I'm like, oh, nice. Okay. Full uniform.
Oh, wow.
And I lower my window and I'm like, yes, can I help you? And, because he's staring at me. So I'm like, it's kind of awkward. And he basically was saying that, thank you for acknowledging him. And like, absolutely, like I'm watching like a good 25 to 30 just running around.
Oh, wow.
And then he's just standing there looking at me, and I'm like, okay, I gotta ask, because I do.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really awesome. I don't like to go most places when there's big groups. I like to go by myself usually,
Yeah.
or now with him. But I've I've dealt better, learn more that way. And what I
Mhm.
like to do is go in, get whatever's there, and then do it backwards than you do it. Get whatever's there, and then go to the and do the research.
Or give
Okay.
a historian
Right.
so they can do the research. And,
Right.
and we've had a lot of success like that
Yeah.
That's awesome.
because when they pull up stuff that no one ever knew from the hints that she gives them,
Right.
that's very validating to them as well.
Yeah. 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 That's
So-
got to be a great feeling when that happens for you.
oh yes, it is definitely. It's and it's nice because it's a lot of the stuff isn't in the books, and there'd be no way for me to just pick up a history book of whatever building it is.
Somebody else that's sort of shellacked over the truth
Right. So
and sanded it, put a few more coats in, clear coat. And
Mhm.
yeah.
she gets the splinters.
I'm finding there's a lot of that, though. It seems like just in things, whether I'm picking it up through my stuff using equipment or Derek's picking it up psychically or different sensitives on our team are picking things up. I'm finding it seems more and more of it isn't out there readily available in the books. You really got to do some digging. And then it's like, oh, wow. So I just wonder how many things do we overlook that are right there in plain sight?
Definitely. And and you dismiss it because you're like, oh, that's not anywhere. That's just my mind or somebody playing a joke. So
Yep.
it's very true. Very true. So I know you have that event coming in October. Do you have the dates for that?
October 7th.
Okay.
Yep. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then at 8 p.m. to midnight, ACG Paranormal. They're fun. They are a lot of fun. They're going to lead the investigation with the guests who buy tickets for that.
Nice.
And so it's going to be Paracon during the day, investigation at night.
Oh, that sounds really nice. Really nice. And what else? What other investigations or events you coming?
Oh God, I got so many. I can't remember. I know we're going to in Indiana. There's a brand new church that just opened back in April. Jim Jones, his childhood church. We're going there this weekend, so I have to go to the store tomorrow. I got to buy purple Kool-Aid. I got to have grape Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's a good trigger.
I'm gonna bring the grape Kool-Aid, the sugar, and some water in a pitcher and say, okay, can you tell me how to make the Kool-Aid and see what else he tells me to put in the Kool-Aid besides the Kool-Aid?
Yeah,
I'm crazy like that, but
you never know, right?
Maybe he'll say something's missing or that ain't right. So we got that. We're really excited about that because not a lot of teams have gotten to investigate that. So we're going to be there with a great group of friends. Let's see, then the Rock Island YMCA quite a few times because so close to home. And it's one of those locations, every time you go, you get something new.
Right.
So we're going to do that. I know Old Baraboo Inn, Cambry House. God, I can't remember them all.
Well, the Baraboo Inn is fairly north in Wisconsin, isn't it?
Yes, up by the Wisconsin Dells.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been to the Dells.
Yeah.
Love
That'll
the
be
Dells.
fun.
The ducks. The ducks.
Yeah, that should be fun. Down in the basement, near the door to go back outside. That's the most,
Baraboo? Okay.
Yeah, that's the most active.
Down in the basement near the door to go outside?
Yep.
We'll remember that.
That's one of the most active sections or areas of that place.
I don't know too much about. I know I think they said Al Capone's tied in there. A lot of mob speakeasy. Did they say? I haven't done a whole bunch of research on that one just yet.
go with no research.
Go with no research?
Yeah,
Okay.
just let it all happen.
Okay. I will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're inside of 5 minutes.
Right.
We're actually close to 4 minutes left. Is
Oh.
there anything we haven't talked about that you would like people to know about you or paranormal or in general?
Not really. No, this has been so much fun. Thank you for having me on here tonight. This has flown by. It seems like we just started.
Well, hopefully the people that tuned in will be feeling the same way about it. But that's what we try to do. We want people to get to know you because everybody
Right.
does it differently and everybody
Right.
brings something special.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
me
it.
and my squirrel brain. I'm all over the place.
Nice. Pretty much on course. And
But that's also the true calling of a medium
right.
because you can be somewhere and then you get called to some other place.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's another indication to us that you have those gifts.
Yep, you do. And so don't keep putting yourself in that box. Break that box.
I will do that.
Okay. And now for those that don't know, the reason she was saying that she needed to learn Reiki or get trained in Reiki is because if you're trained Reiki practitioner, master, whatever, grandmaster, whatever, you can help the person who does a paranormal investigation. You could cleanse them, you could heal them if they had any incidents while they're in there, and you could also remove any entities that want to come home.
Yeah.
But then be very careful to cleanse yourself
Right.
when you're done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I know that you said that, but I don't think people quite know the reasoning. So I figured
Yeah.
I'll clarify.
No, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
And Reiki's no joke. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of intricacies to Reiki as well. So it's great that you have that gift and that you're, fulfilling that because Reiki, there's a lot to Reiki, even with elemental, which is not a common Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Glenda does over 10 modalities, including elemental. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot there.
Yeah.
So you mix it up too, depending on what. Yep. What they
Definitely.
need.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the key here, and that's why I say you're definitely a medium, and you're using those skills without knowing it. Because when somebody comes to you and you know to use something different, that right there is your connection,
Okay.
telling you to change it up a little.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's like I tell all my students, you have a toolbox, different tools. You never know which one you're gonna need. So,
Exactly.
but that's how it is. So, anything else? I think we're
I
about.
think you're ready to take us home
Yes,
because we
I'm
got about a
ready.
minute left.
Yep. So I want to thank everyone, including Kandi. It was great to see
Thank
you
you.
again and
It's
to have
fun.
you here. It was a lot of fun. And we want to say to our audience, please, if anything resonates with you and you know where to contact Kandi. And otherwise, we love you. We thank you. Have a blessed week and see you next week. Bye.